Hello everyone, Conscientious Roofer here, and in today's video I would just like to update you guys about my two reef tanks and how they're doing. So yeah, let's get into it. We'll start off here with the main tank. Probably you guys want to see a bit more. Um, it's been doing good. I've had a couple of little small changes that I've made. I got a new not powered return pump. It is a Ciche return pump, and I I found it to be a little strong. I have it turned down almost all the way to the minimum, but as you can see, like right there, I have it pointing at the surface. It's giving really good surface agitation, so that's helping out quite a bit. But yeah, it helps out, kicks out more flow. Certainly does. Before I was just using the standard aqua top one, and it started to get a little slow on me. I think it might have been dirty, but I mean, it was an excuse to upgrade equipment, so I took it. But so I also cleaned out the fan on the AI Prime. It has been ridiculously loud. Like you guys probably heard it in my other videos, how loud this fan had become. But I cleaned the inside of it. I took it out. I sprayed it with an air compressor, and it seems to have helped. Still, it's still a bit loud, but not nearly as bad as it was. It was really bad. But yeah, that's really all I've done for equipment. I mean, all I've done like maintaining and cleaning the equipment. I did when I changed that return pump. I did do a huge like like cleaning of this back area because I haven't cleaned it since I set up the tank like almost 2 years ago. So it needed a deep clean for sure. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, it did. It did need a really deep clean. So yeah, that's what I did. But in terms of livestock, there's not a whole lot that's different. The clownfish have laid eggs. This is their second batch. You can't really see it. They're behind the anemones, but the male will still tend to them. Second batch. It's always cool to have some fish, or something spawn in your tanks because you know they're comfortable and happy in there. But the clownfish have spawned. It's very nice. I'm getting, and now that's enough about the fish. All the other fish are just hiding. But now on to coral growth. I am getting pretty decent growth on my strawberry shortcake. All the little new branches. These two, this Montipora and the strawberry shortcake, are going to touch, so I'm not sure how that's going to go down. They're about to grow into each other. Hopefully, it's not too bad. I mean, they're both pretty big, like mini colonies, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Who will win that battle? Hopefully, the strawberry shortcake. But on that Montipora, some of it's buried under the sand. The pistol shrimp has been going crazy in here. Look at all the sand piling up everywhere. Like some points it'll be really shallow. Like back there, behind the rockscape, like the sand is incredibly shallow. Cause they just move it however they like. So if you do get a pistol shrimp, that is something you have to consider. They'll just move and rearrange the tanks to however they see fit. And if you drop a frag of coral, it's going to be gone. They're just going to take it and put it in their lair. But the Montipora has grown like a weed. I did a pretty decent sized fragging session. You can't really tell, but I got a couple of frags I got up here. The reason why I have frags in here and not in the frag tank is this system is too young for SPS cores, in my opinion. Like I have a couple of Montipora in there and they're just not doing well. Algae's growing on them, but I'll come back to that tank. But in terms of growth of the other corals, I put this bird's nest down here. This was a pretty decent sized colony that I cut in half. So now it's quite a bit smaller. Getting decent growth down there. I kind of have it tucked away so it could just take over that entire area. But some of the other SPS, like this goldenrod's growing pretty good. This Oregon tort has not done a whole lot. It's just starting to encrust along the side. but it hasn't done a whole lot. It seems like when I put new acros in my tank, they just really stall for a little bit, at least a couple months, and then they'll start to pick up the pace when it comes to growth. Something that always grows good though is this purple stylophora. Really nice coral, common but it's a classic coral, and yeah, I really enjoy it. I have this slime ball coral right here. I think it's an anacropora, which is kind of cool. I just learned that. I thought it was a Monty for the longest time, but I'm pretty sure it's an anacropora now. So you always learn something new, right? But then I also have this PC Rainbow, and this has been getting better coloration. Growth has been kind of slow. It's slowly encrusting over the plug, but coloration has definitely improved. It looks better in person. What else is there? And there's also this little green slime or frag. It's just starting to encrust on the base. I had that frag in there and it started to lose tissue, like slow tissue necrosis, like from the base, so I cut it and it seems to have completely stopped and now it's encrusting over the plug. But that's kind of it in terms of my SPS like growth. I mean, I have some like LPS. They just grow kind of slow for me. I haven't really had that fast of growth. These anemones keep moving. It's kind of frustrating. They'll start moving and walking over there, and it's just kind of like, oh man, like it's hard because it's such a small tank. So if they move to this rock, they're gonna sting all these corals. It makes me wish I had a bigger tank with these anemones because they would have more room to walk. But and then I have this little Kenya tree that I literally took a razor blade to the base of it and then cut it off, and now it's grown back. That coral was pretty profitable and made some money off of it, so I'm glad to see it come back. I sold the colony, so it'd be nice to have some like money coming back from it. But that's enough about this tank. Let's take it over to the Frag tank. This tank is looking better than it was last time I showed you guys it in the video. And that is thanks to, I mean, don't get me wrong, it still has a long way to go, but that's thanks to some additional cleanup crew I've put in here. I have this urchin under the rock. I actually took him from my dad's tank. It's kind of nice having an urchin. Like, if you have, like, uglies in one of the tanks, you just move him to that tank, and he'll clean up. I call it renting an urchin from him. So it's kind of nice. But he's doing a pretty good job cleaning the rocks. Corals seem like they're doing pretty good. I mean, this tank's only like it's not even a month old, and I have growth, like a little growth ring on that Montipora frag. And of course the GSP and the leathers are happy. But this coral right here, this is a Cyphastria, and this was in my main tank, but it fell under a rock. I took this rock out right here to frag and work on it, and I found the Cyphastria frag underneath it, and it still has a little bit of polyps on the left side of it, so that was really cool to see. So I'm trying to see if it can come back in this tank. I'm not completely sure if it will, but it'd be cool if it did. But in terms of fish I have for this tank, I just have a little baby Osteovirus clownfish, and then really enjoy this fish. It's some sort of dottyback. It's very pretty. I haven't had any real issues with aggression yet with it, which is good to see. It's been relatively peaceful because I added him second. I can almost guarantee if I added him first and I had that clownfish second, the clownfish would have gotten destroyed already. So I'm glad I waited and added him later. But like I touched on earlier, this tank is just not ready for like a lot of SPS. Besides this one that's somehow growing. Like I have some Montipora frags in there, and I have some Kenya tree. The Kenya tree is doing all right. Just that Monty has a bunch of algae on it. But I'm not too concerned about that. I'll just leave it in there because I have plenty to spare in here and in here. But I'm not currently dosing anything on this tank at all. Like, I just do water changes, and that's all I do to replenish the elements, because there's a lot of soft corals in there. In this tank I dose Alpha Reef, just a 1 part solution. I'm dosing 9 mils right now, and seems to really work out. I'm very happy with it. Very simple, very easy. It has everything in perfect ratio, and dose it, and like covers like trace elements. Has some trace in there, calcium alkalinity. So yeah, it seems to keep me covered. But yeah, that's kind of it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. Um, yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, see you guys later. Bye.